Okay, so in the last video I showed you how I make a basic soap for my laundry soap, and now I'm going to show you what I do with that soap. So I have some bars that have already cured, and I'm going to now grate those bars, and then I'll be adding them in with some washing soda and borax, and those are the three basic ingredients that I use in this soap, laundry soap. I can add essential oils to scent it after I'm done. I can also, if I chose, add some oxygen cleaner, like some OxiClean powder. I used to do that when my children were young and I was using cloth diapers, as the OxiClean was a little bit more gentle on their skin than the borax. So I added much less borax and much more OxiClean to this recipe back then. So I'm just going to show you the process of grating a bar of soap. Terribly exciting. And then we'll mix the recipe together for the laundry soap. Okay, so here I have my mandolin grater. Yes, this would go so much faster in a food processor. However, we're moving off grid, so I'm getting rid of items that we won't need or I won't be using as much. So that's already gone. So we're going to use the basic grater here, and I'm just going to grate the bar of soap. And what I end up with is these thin soap shavings, like that. And then that's what we're going to mix in with these other ingredients. Now, when I had a food processor, I used the very fine grating attachment so that I could get almost like a powder from the soap. Is it that big of a deal? No, it is going to dissolve in my washing machine, so it's not the biggest deal which grating size. However, if you have the choice, go with the finer option. Good morning. So today's part 2 of the video that we're doing for laundry soap making. So I've, if you remember, well, you'll remember because this is all going to be pasted together as though it's one video. I've grated this soap already, and today what we're going to do is blend all the ingredients together to actually make the laundry soap. And I'm also going to unmold the soap that we made last time, as it's been 48 hours and we can now take it out of the mold and begin to cut it. So we're going to do all those things. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I've got here. So what I have here is 10 ounces of the grated soap flakes that we made last time. So I'm going to add those to my bowl. And then I'm going to measure out borax and washing soda. And the ratio is 3 parts washing soda to 2 parts borax to 10 ounces of soap flakes. So I'm actually going to be making a much larger batch to last me hopefully the year, which works out to 1 box of washing soda, 1 box of borax, and 3 to 4 bars of grated soap. So that's what I'm going to add in here. I'm just going to measure that all into the bowl here, and then I'll start the camera again. Okay, so here I have all my ingredients in my bowl, and what I like to do with the washing soda side, not with the borax, because I find it a little bit irritating when it's just pure borax, is just break apart these soap flakes a little bit. If I had the food processor, I would be putting the soap flakes in the food processor with the washing soda and then pulsing it a few times. And what that will do is break the soap flakes apart into powdery consistency. Now that's not necessary. These soap flakes dissolve very quickly, so they are going to dissolve in your wash. So that's not the end of the world. But we can just break them apart with the washing soda before we mix it together with the borax. Okay, so I'm going to mix it all up here. really is this simple to make laundry soap. And if you have the food processor, it's even simpler, as you wouldn't have spent as much time as I did grating the bars of soap, which really was only a few minutes. However, it could have been a few seconds with a food processor. Now this batch of laundry soap will last me a year, and the costs that I've put into this include the washing soda, the box of borax, and the lye for the soap. Because remember, this is lard soap that we've made and cured. So the total cost for this batch of laundry detergent for the year is $12 Canadian. Now that would be lower. That would be $8 if I lived in the city, as I would have access to cheaper washing soda and borax. However, I live an hour from the closest major center, and the stores close to me charge a bit more. You can see I'm working on some mucklucks over on the other side of the table today. So I've got this combined, and I want it to be pretty uniformly combined. It's never going to be perfect, and that's okay. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add my lavender essential oil. And I'm going to add 30 drops per batch, and this is about 2 to 3 batches here. I'm going to add that. Okay, so I have my lavender. Now I wouldn't want to use an essential oil that's irritating at all to the skin. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do is transfer the laundry soap that I've made into a large container. And I'm going to be careful as I pour this, as I don't want this to be agitated too much so that the powders come up into the air and then I breathe them in, as they can be irritating. So that's the same when you're actually mixing the soap. You don't want to be mixing it too vigorously.